So fat leftists are angry that they're getting advertisements on social media telling them to lose weight and offering them things like Ozempic. My friends, I am going to say this. It's a very, very important story, and I agree with these fat leftist influencers who are upset over receiving advertisements for Ozempic. I do not agree with them that being fat is good and you should embrace these things. I think you should strive to eat healthy, exercise, reduce your carbs, increase your protein. And that's a generality. You know, if you're on an all protein diet, disregard, talk to a nutritionist, figure out which makes sense. But I think this story is absolutely fascinating because to me, the idea of taking a drug to lose weight is disgusting. Recreationally. I'll put it this way. If you're someone who's got a serious medical issue and your doctor prescribes a medication, hey, step aside. I'm not talking about you. I strongly encourage everybody to get sound medical advice from a medical professional. What I'm saying is there are people right now who eat garbage and are taking drugs so they don't get fat while they eat garbage. My favorite commercial, meme or whatever, it's this guy. And he's eating pizza and it's like, can't eat your favorite foods. And he goes, oh, I got acid indigestion. And then it's like, take product. And it's like, he eats the pill and he's like, now I can eat more of my favorite food. And it's like, dude, if you're putting something in your body and it hurts, stop. Imagine if there was some commercial where it's like, does putting hand on fire burn? Then take painkiller and burn no more. And it's a guy being like, now I can put my hand in the fire, but it doesn't hurt. Why would you do that? If you're eating food that's causing you pain, stop doing it. So I look to prominent influencers like the Petersons, Jordan and Michaela, because they've done elimination diet stuff. And Michaela's had tremendous success with elimination diet where she's mostly just eating rack of lamb. And, I respect it. Figure out what works for you. We're all different. Here's what I see with this. These women are upset. They're getting ads telling them to lose weight. Now, I'm not right away when they're saying, I get these weight loss commercials. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing. The drugs are the bad thing. Virgie Tovar has been a fat activist for more than a decade. So when she started receiving email after email from wellness companies offering weight loss drugs, she thought it was spam. It wasn't until she saw other creators share screenshots of communications from marketing companies and medical spas that it started to register. It was a widespread phenomenon. Yes, the reality is most people want to lose weight. That's why Ozempic has become so big. So, of course, there are companies that make tons of money off advocating weight loss, and they're going to market to you because you are fat. But as a fat leftist, you're offended by it. I'll let you in on a secret. I met a guy who told me, I met a rich guy once. A rich guy maybe 8 years ago. And he was like, being rich is really easy. And I'm going to let you in on the secret right now of what I was told. And it makes sense. And I think he's right. He said, it's really easy to make tons of money, especially with Facebook. I can tell you how to do it. I wonder if he'll get mad that I'm telling everybody his plan. I don't think this guy actually did this plan. I think he was just off the top of his head, like, here's what you do. And what he said was, there's very obvious things people want, right? They want to lose weight. They want to find relationships. They want to become wealthy. Okay. Everyone goes the wealth route. Let's throw that out. Let's do the weight loss one. So right now, do some research on weight loss and healthy eating. Write a, 50-page booklet on various tips that you've collected through the internet or whatever. Write the book called The Top Tips for Losing Weight Fast, The Real Solution Now, or something to that effect. And you put it up on your website for a digital download. You advertise it on Facebook. Run a campaign a couple different campaigns, see which one is the most effective, and then sell the digital download for slightly more than it costs to run the ads. Then you leave and you're rich forever. That's what he said. The idea being that people will always need health tips to lose weight. It's simple, a couple days worth of work to compile various studies and research and ideas. advocate in the beginning of the book to talk to a doctor, but here's the things that worked for you. And then you put it on Facebook, figure out how much it costs in ads to get one sale. So let's say you spend $10 on advertisements. And for every $10 spent, you sell 2 books. That means it costs. So the $10 will actually deliver your ad to, 1,000 people or whatever. And so you're like, okay, 1,000 people saw the ad. 2 people out of 1,000 bought it. It cost me $5 to get a sale. Sell the book for $6. That's it. Digital download, infinite resource. You did the work. It sells forever. And then later on, you can update the cover, run a new ad, change your ads. There's always more people to target. There's hundreds of millions of people. You're not going to sell it to every single person. But I mean, look, if you sold 1 million books, you will make $1 off of every ad. You're gonna make $1 million profit. And he's like, so what really ends up happening is you end up making like 15, 20,000 bucks a month doing something like this. And then it's like, and then the best part is you can just do more. You can make one about dating tips. You can make one about tips for success and how to improve your life and how to clean. And it's really simple. When you think about it, it actually is really simple, right? But my point here is ultimately that there's a big market, a massive market for things like losing weight. Let's go back to this story. She goes on to say that throughout 2023 and 24, she's been offered free Ozempic for weight loss by influencer marketing companies and others. She's been offered as much as $2,000 to promote the medication. I know I'm not the only one. She said F all the way off. I agree. However, similarly, plus-sized Peloton instructor Ash Pryor also shared a screenshot of an email she received offering $1,500 worth of weight loss medication treatment in exchange for a monthly content. That's when she said F all the way off. Here's what people need to do. Eat better, exercise more. I lost like 30 pounds when I dropped the carbs, increased the protein. This was now going on, I think it's 2.5 years ago. I was heavier. I was eating a lot of rice. I was eating a lot of meat, but I was eating way more carbs, bread, and I was exercising a lot. And then I was like, for me, the problem was the carbohydrates, mostly rice. I was having a lot of rice. And I was like, I don't want to eat too much bread, but I had a lot of rice. And so I dropped it all and started focusing more on protein. And I did keto, basically. And I lost like 20 pounds in 3 months. And then over the next 5 or 6 months, I lost another 10 pounds. I had been exercising the whole time. I've always skateboarded. At the time, I was doing a bit more rollerblading than skateboarding. Rollerblading, super fun. I think it's easier to get started. Skateboarding's a lot harder, but I've been skateboarding a lot more recently. So exercise definitely helped. But my attitude was kind of like, I don't know. I exercise all the time, but I still put on weight. And then I was like, it's diet. It's not. And I think diet is the majority, although exercise is extremely important. I think much of what we hear about depression, if you're depressed, the solution may actually be exercise. I'm not saying it's the only and absolute, talk to a doctor, but for a lot of people, it has been medically, scientifically proven exercise cures a lot of depression. My recommendation to a lot of people is if you're depressed in the house, you don't know what to do, you're bored, you have nothing to do, go to a skate park. Get a skateboard. You've never skateboarded before. Get rollerblades. You've never bladed before. Skateboard's probably easier to meet people with because less people rollerblade. But you go to a skate park with a skateboard, and that's it. You go to the skate park with the skateboard. You'll sit down, and it's just proximity. This is always how it goes. You go to a skate park, you sit down, someone will walk over like, what's going on, man? You'll be like, yo, what's up? You'll watch someone do a trick, and it'll be like, oh, did you see that? And you know what you can do? You can say, hey, man, I'm new. I just started skating. I want to get into it. You think you can give me some pointers? They'll be like, oh, for sure, dude. You'll make friends instantly. And it will be very, very good for you. And then I love skateboarding. I don't care if it's skateboarding or anything else. I love community sports stuff, right? Football's cool, but a lot of people just watch. I like I like when you go out and you have a league and you play ultimate frisbee, frisbee golf, snowboarding, anything where you're out interacting with people and being physical. It is going to light up your life. And so I recommend it. That's what bothers me about all this. What I'm seeing these days, which is terrifying, is that people have disgusting diets where they eat processed garbage and fake sugar. And when it causes them physical pain, they buy a drug to solve the problem. That's crazy. And it breaks my heart. For me, I find it to be relatively simple. I would love, so we had a Super Bowl party, tons of pizza. I ordered these keto pizzas. I regret it. I will never do it again. Too much dietary fiber, if you know what that does to you. And so I'm like, dude, I will just go ahead and eat meat. And so the other day, I did have some bread. We did tenderloin, Nusret style. We can never recreate the amazing meal that is Nusret. If you don't know what that is, it's Salt Bay guy where he does the thing with the salt. My stars and garters. If you ever find yourself in Miami and you've got some disposable income, Nusret is an experience. That guy knows what he is doing. It's the Salt Bay guy, right? It's probably, I'm gonna say it right now, probably my favorite restaurant. And I don't know if there's one out here, but they do this thing where they pan-sear tenderloin in butter. They salt it, and then they put a piece of bread between it, a toasted bread with butter. It's just nuts. I've talked about how good it is for a while. But I don't eat too much of the bread, but just the meats. And so I got to be honest. Super Bowl party, we had delicious yellow cake. I had not a single piece. And I'm like, man, that icing would be so good. But I got a sweet tooth. No sugar for me. No fruit juice, none of that. I drink Spindrifts, cut the sugar down because the responsibility starts with you. And I want to be healthy. You know, they say as you get older, your body starts to break down faster than it can repair itself. And that means you want to maximize regeneration and minimize the damage from eating bad food. But too many of these people, of these women, are happy to be morbidly obese, sickly, and it breaks my heart. You know, this woman here, she's got a belly. She's obese. I don't understand why she doesn't just cut out the garbage. And there are people who say, but I like eating my sugar and my pizza and my whatever. And I'm just like, there's a lot of things that feel good. Drugs feel good. They kill you. They're like, you know, it's crazy that people, like alcoholism is bad. Getting drunk feels good. You have to have control, responsibility. It is terrifying to me that there are people who are like, I am going to eat processed, refined garbage and sugar cakes and all that stuff, and then inject myself with chemicals to stop the negative. That's crazy. It makes me feel like there's going to be two worlds, or that we're in two worlds already. People who will become disgusting blobs of unhealth, but they'll just hook themselves up to the machine. For what purpose? I have no idea. And there will be others who will get fit, protect themselves, and try and improve themselves. And that's basically what we've seen. Think about where that goes. These people are going to plug themselves into the VR. They're going to be morbidly obese, disgusting, you know, covered in pots and boils and rashes. Their hair's going to fall out. And they're going to be like, I'm kept alive by chemicals plugged into my belly. And I use virtual reality. And then in the VR, they're this glistening, ripped Superman type figure. And there'll be the rest of us who will just be like, okay, you know, we're not going to be glistening, shiny models with six packs. That's not a real human body. You know, I respect the body positivity in its truest sense. Like, everyone's like, a dad bod. And I'm like, look, a guy who is like in moderate shape, has a little belly or whatever, I ain't complaining about. Not everybody's running on the treadmill and eating 500 grams of protein to look like Chris Hemsworth. You don't have to do that. There was a photo of, what's his face? The guy who plays Aquaman, Jason Momoa, whatever his name is. And they were like, look how fat he's gotten. Because he had like, it looked like he had like love handles or whatever. And I'm like, he didn't really. It's just that what we see on TV and movies of the guys who are super ripped of their muscles, they're dehydrated. And so when this dude who works out a lot, gets fit for the movies, eats a ton of protein, in reality, he does not look like a six-pack ripped guy that you see on TV. That's like special circumstance filming. And they make fun of him. So I get that. It's like, come on, dude. That's what a person actually looks like. Calm the F down. When they do filters and manipulate how people look, how women look, to try and sell a product, that's bad. So I don't mind the women on Instagram when they're like, this is what Instagram looks like, and here's how I really look. And it's like, I respect it. You know, it's kind of cringe. They keep doing it. It's like, we get it. But the filter stuff is really bad. So in the terms of body positivity of like, sometimes people have zits, sometimes, you know, people, they're short or whatever. It's like, that's great. That's body positivity. But morbidly obese people who won't take responsibility for their own health, who want to do drugs instead, that is not body positivity. And that's actually what's happening right now. Now, again, to be fair, these women are just saying like, I'm fat and it is what it is. And I'm like, yeah, okay. You could be thin if you just ate better. exercised and changed your life, and it would improve your mental status and all these things. But you know what, man? I'm libertarian, I guess. So do what you want to do. Me, I'll do what I want to do. So, the other day I have very little carbs every day. And this is wild because I'm reading online. I consulted these like health websites, government and World Health Organization kind of things. How much protein should I eat? How many carbs? How much fat? It is insane, in my opinion, what they tell people to eat. No joke. It says apparently I should be eating 300 carbohydrates per day. Dude, I eat like 20. It's wild. When I weighed 200 pounds a couple of years ago and I lost 30. When I weighed 200, I was probably eating like 100 carbs per day. Some bread and some rice, nowhere near 300. And I was gaining weight. And I got a mini ramp in the basement. We've had it the whole time we were here. And I was gaining weight. I don't really care. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, I don't care what I look like, whatever. And then at a certain point, I was kind of like, after I got sick, I said, I gotta eat better. Whatever it is, I should not be gaining weight if I'm exercising. Something's wrong. And I think maybe it's just me. Maybe everybody's different. But I switched to lots of protein, lots of fat. And it's wild because it's like, for one thing, even recently, I was not getting enough protein. And now I'm getting a ton of protein. And I've dramatically cut out carbs. Here's the thing. There's something called, I think it's called gluconeogenesis. Your body will turn protein into sugar when it needs it. So that's why people are like, I'm doing the keto diet. And they eat like a big steak. And I'm like, that's not keto. Keto is when you slam a glass of heavy whipping cream. And your calories come mostly from fat, not from protein and sugar. I'm mostly doing low carb, high fat, high protein, but not there's still some carbs in there. I wouldn't call it like legit keto. Everyone calls it keto, but dude, seriously, you're eating avocados, cheese, drinking cream, and you're having a little bit of protein. That's keto. I'm doing just a higher protein, higher fat, lower carb thing relative to what they're telling me to do. And I've never felt better. I mentally feel bad. I do. Because I'm like, if I had known this when I was 19, man, what could I have accomplished? I remember when I was a teenager and into my 20s, I would skate. And I'm in California, and I jumped down a large set of stairs. Huge. I mean, not really. It was 13. So imagine a set of stairs that has 13 stairs. It's about 6 to 7 feet tall. And I jumped off of it. Heavy impact. It took several tries to finally get it. And this was when I was 19 or something. I think I was 18. And so lot of strain on my muscles and my legs. The next day, I was racked with soreness. I could not skate for 5 days. I was so sore. And I was like, man, if only I knew now what I knew then. The issue was I wasn't getting enough protein. It was it. I needed to hydrate, get protein, and the soreness would have gone away very, very quickly. I didn't know that. And so I remember my whole life, I was like, how do I improve I'm trying to figure out the diet thing. And it was because I kept getting told by all of these outlets, eat carbs and have X amount of protein, but more carbs. And that wasn't doing it for me. Now that I do more protein and less carbs, I'm not even sore. I skated 3 days in a row the past few days. And I'm just like, I'm 37, I'm about to be 38, and I'm skating better than I've ever skated. It's really funny because people are like, you're going to start to feel it now that you're getting to 40. And I'm like, I got to be honest. I'm skating better than I've ever skated. And that's why I'm like, man, if I was younger and I had a better diet, I mean, granted, I was poor, so I ate what I could eat. I would eat what I could eat. I'd go to Wendy's and I'd order a double cheeseburger, but I'd be like, how much lettuce and tomato can you put on it? And they'd be like, I don't care, as much as you want. I'm like, okay, can I get 5 tomatoes and 5 lettuce? Then I would basically have this massive thing. And they're like, whatever, an onion. And I'm like, cram as much food on it as you can because I only have $1. But now, now that I'm taking protein more seriously and cutting the carbs out, things have been way better. Anyway, now I'm ranting about health and fitness, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I feel good about it. This stuff bums me out. This stuff makes me sad, I got to say. I wish people would do better and we weren't moving towards this. It hurts to eat pizza, but I'll take drugs so I can. Man, have a mango or a yogurt or whatever. Just it's so brutal. Me, I mostly eat chicken wings. I eat a lot of chicken wings. I try not to do too much red meat, but I will add this. I've actually never felt better than when I eat salami. Yeah, for real. It's the craziest thing. I will eat a bunch of salami we have this roasted red pepper feta dip that is delicious. It's basically cream cheese with feta and red pepper in it. Dip the salami in it. High fat, high protein, no carb, very salty. But the next day I feel like $1,000,000. And I'm wondering if it's because it's a cured meat. It's a raw meat, but it's cured. And so I'm like, I wonder if it's that it's raw. Raw is better. I don't know. I certainly recommend everybody who wants to pursue any changes to their diet consult someone who knows better than I do, because I'm just some dude who reads the internet and tries to do better. But I've certainly found what works for me. Hopefully you can find what works for you. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.